Director of Investment Management with Argent Bridge Advisors. Well, it is August already. Summer is just flying by. Washington Commanders training camp has begun, which I am very excited about. But before you know it, they'll be giving me ulcers every week. But yeah, fall is just around the corner. So on the horizon, we see that November's elections are fast approaching. And around Labor Day of each election cycle, we tend to start getting questions and ideas about what the results of the presidential race is going to mean for the stock market and investing at large. So to get ahead of many of the questions that are very natural to think about, this month we want to offer up some data and maybe dispel a couple common myths about elections and reframe what the election will mean for you. So to start, history shows us that no matter who wins, the market will forge ahead. According to First Trust Investments, there have been 24 presidential elections since the S&P 500 index was formulated back in, I think, 1961. In those 24 election years, the S&P 500 index has been positive 20 times, or 83% of the time. Now, I can tell you without looking that it was not one party winning 83% of those elections. So we have that to think about. Now, I want to share this chart. In fact, this is a great illustration of the performance of the S&P 500 index over that time period since 1961. As you can see, the market continues to grow as the White House repeatedly changes hands. Now, another way to look at this chart is shown here. And as you can see, both Republican and Democratic administrations, they experience varying levels of market performance and fairly indiscriminately. It's what you take away from this chart is that no one party consistently does better. Now, since no party having the White House is consistently better for the stock market, what's important for you is staying invested. This is an excellent chart from Yahoo, which effectively illustrates the cumulative performance of investing only during one type of administration or investing during the other. And the message here is clear. The column you want to be in is on the far right. This is staying invested the whole time. And this is the only choice to make if you are investing based on presidential cycles. So let me stop sharing here. Now, conventional wisdom might lead you to think that Republican policies in general are more business friendly and therefore they're better for the stock market. Well, historical data simply does not support that. Primary drivers of the market are macroeconomic factors such as corporate profits, interest rates, and inflation. These all move in cycles because they're just circular feedback loops, each one of them. But they behave largely independent from what the current presidents and lawmakers are implementing at the moment. Plus, let's remember that the driver's seat of government, the president or the balance of the Senate, balance of the House, that's constantly changing hands back and forth. So any one party's ability to magically boost the stock market, that's greatly overblown. It actually makes me smirk when I hear on TV that any one candidate or incumbent on either side, they try to claim, take credit for how good the economy is doing. I just shake my head at that, but I digress. Now I hear all you saying, but the election has to affect something, right? Well, yes, of course it does. And the answer is that those things that it does affect lie mostly on the side of your own personal financial situation. It's things like taxes, Social Security, estate planning, your required IRA distributions. These are all fundamental financial topics that are largely driven by government, and they affect us every year. And these are things that usually last many years before Congress circles back and makes changes to them. So regarding the election, we are focused on planning concepts and policies rather than the short-term market reaction from whoever who wins. We consider a few likely election outcomes and consider what adjustments make sense under those different scenarios. Now, for example, right now, the base case is that several of the provisions from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will expire at the end of 2025. Now, this involves things like the tax rates probably going up, the standard income tax deduction is likely to be lowered, and the estate tax exemption will essentially be cut in half. Now, these things are not just a gimme to be extended if, say, Donald Trump were to win the election. The extension has to pass through the House and the Senate. So the outcome of the House elections, and I think 34 seats in the Senate, that will increase or decrease the chances that these provisions are extended, which are right now set to expire. After the elections, it's from there that we will look at each of your personal situations and recommend what makes sense to you based on the direction that these policies are going. So back to the election, in our opinion, be agnostic about the election affecting the stock market because it largely doesn't matter. We are focusing on long-term policy changes that may result after the elections and how they fit into your financial plan. Now, finally, because the Olympics are going on and it's been a highly entertaining games in which I've been deeply engrossed, I've enjoyed it a lot, I want to leave you with one fun fact. An Olympic gold medal is actually 95% silver and 5% gold. Obviously, all that gold is on the outside. That's about 500 grams of silver and 6 grams of gold, which, as of last week's prices, is worth about just under $1,100. I thought that was pretty cool. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like our videos. We try very hard to create meaningful educational content for all of our clients and viewers. Of course, contact us at any time if you have any questions.